I'll tell you, Cole, there's no doubt about it. We'll make a fortune. I can see it now.
See what?
The sign. Stinch and Cole. Wholesale 30 years.
Why don't it read Call and Stinch? Any reason why my name shouldn't come first?
Because it was my idea. That makes me the senior partner.
I don't think I like the idea. We ain't never set no traps, let alone try to catch anything in them.
No, I guarantee there's nothing to it. The man I bought the traps from gave me a demonstration. Here, I'll show you. First, you press down on that string there like that. And then you flip this over and latch it like that. And there you are.
What happens next?
Then we find a beaver slide, plant the bait, and here comes Mr. Beaver. He's reaching for the bait and... Ow!
Do you have to put your hand in it every time?
Don't just sit there. Get me out of this.
You boys having a little trouble?
Well, if it ain't Mr. Boone, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Well, I'm not so sure the feeling is mutual after all the trouble you caused us the last time you were here.
We hope you can find it and you forget the past, Mr. Boone. We both reformed. Ain't we, Stinch?
We've seen the error of our ways. As you can see, we're about to embark on a legitimate business.
You mean you two are going trapping?
Yes, sir. As you can see, we're just checking out the equipment.
Well, make sure you don't get your hand in somebody else's pocket instead of a beaver trap.
Oh, Indians!
It's been many moons since the chief of the Creeks had come to visit his friends. Why have you come here?
Boone has heard that there may be war between the Creeks and the Shawnee very soon.
I've heard it.
The elders of the tribe do not want this war. It is their wish to put an end to it before it starts.
Well, I'd sort of like to see the war stop myself, because if there is a war between you, some of my people may get hurt.
That is why I have come. Our friend Boone can be of help to us.
Well, in what way?
This is my daughter, Little Fawn. It has been told to me that Lone Runner, son of the Shawnee chief, has looked upon her with favor. If a marriage between the two could be arranged, there would be lasting peace between us.
Well, why come to me?
There are young warriors among both tribes who do not wish to see this marriage take place. They do not want peace. They want war. So until this marriage takes place, I dare not travel through the land of the Shawnee. You wear the quipo of the Shawnee, the leather necklace that lets you walk through their country safely. It is our wish that you take my daughter to the Shawnee village to see if this marriage can be arranged.
That makes a good deal of sense, and it doesn't seem too high a price to stop a war.
In return, we give you much land, many trees, many fields for growing.
Well, that sounds fair enough.
Then it is agreed. I leave you my daughter.
Hey, wait a minute. Why have you got her tied up?
Because she does not wish this marriage. The white man's school has spoiled her. She has caused us much trouble on this trip.
Well, what makes you think she's not going to cause me a lot of trouble?
You are a white man. You will know how to treat her. We will return in 7 sleeps. You will arrange this marriage.
Something tells me your father gave me a rough package to deliver. Princess?
Top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe. The rippin'est, roarin'est, fightin'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a Boone, what a doer, what a dream come a truer was he.
Stand right here, Princess.
Ow! Well, Mr. Boone, it looks like there's the answer to all our problems.
Our problem?
That war we was talking about. Looks like we got it stopped before it got started.
That may be your problem, but I've got a feeling my problem is just about to start. I've still got to take her to the Shawnee.
Well, I heard the chief say the Shawnee ain't going to give you no trouble. Not with that gadget they give you to wear around your neck.
It's not the Shawnee I'm worried about. It's a little fawn.
Pretty little thing, ain't she?
Oh, yeah, she's pretty all right.
If I didn't know you, Mr. Boone, I'd say you was scared of her.
You don't know me very well. Because I am. Princess, you heard what your father said. Now, as long as we have to travel together, there's no reason why we shouldn't be friends.
Why should I be friends with you?
Well, why shouldn't we be?
You were helping my father force me into a marriage against my will.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say he's forcing you. It is your custom, isn't it, for the family to arrange a wedding?
That is a custom I do not care for. The white man's custom is better. I will choose my own husband.
Well, I agree with you. The white man's custom is better, but on the other hand, I haven't tried the Indian custom.
Is it a white man's custom to tie their women?
Princess, I apologize. Stench, your pleasure.
Oh, now look, lady. Oh!
Hey, come back here! Mingo, grab her!
Excuse me, young lady.
Help me, please. That white man's trying to kill me.
That white man?
Please, he tried to kill me.
Well, that's Daniel Boone. He wouldn't hurt you. He's my friend.
Your friend?
Yes. Wait.
Hang on to her, Mingo.
Put me down. Put me down.
Put her down. What the devil is going on here? This young lady said you tried to kill her. You got it the other way around, Mingo. She tried to kill me. I believe you. Finch, the white man's custom just changed. Higher up again.
Mr. Boone, I'm beginning to understand what you was talking about. This here woman is downright dangerous.
Daniel, now that you have her tied up, just what do you intend doing with her?
Well, I was supposed to take her to the Shawnee village to marry the chief's son.
A Creek girl marry a Shawnee?
Well, the marriage is supposed to cement lasting peace between the two tribes. Personally, I think it's guaranteed to start a war, providing I can get her there.
Which is something I'd lay odds against.
I think maybe I'd better go along with you.
You'd volunteer after what just happened?
Well, it might be a very interesting trip.
Traitor.
Well, I personally feel it's going to be a very hazardous trip, but if you would like to come along, I'd be most pleased to have your company.
Well, I have some preparations to make.
When do you figure on getting started, Mr. Boone?
Oh, as soon as I get my gear together. About 2 hours, I reckon.
What do you aim to do with her in the meantime?
Do you two think you could keep her under control for a little while?
Well,
No. Good. Princess, would you promise to behave until I get back?
I will behave myself.
You gonna believe her, Mr. Boone?
Yeah, I reckon I'll believe her.
Providing you untie me.
Untie you? Oh, I don't know. I'd hate to go through all that wrestling again.
Then I will not behave.
All right, gentlemen. Untie her and stand back.
Now, I'm hungry. I would like some food.
Gentlemen, take the princess inside and feed her. I'll be back as soon as I can.
You mean you're gonna leave us all alone?
I've given a promise. Do not break promises.
Mr. Boone, you better hurry and get back here just as soon as you can make it.
Very good. Oh, I should like an apple. Peel it.
Well, now, it seems to me that I heard your father say that this Shawnee chief's son had looked on you with great favor. Now, just where on earth did you ever happen to meet?
At the white man's school.
Oh, you mean you went to school with him?
No, to different schools, but in the same city.
Well, in that case, I should think you two would have a great deal in common.
We have many things in common. Oh, thank you.
Peel it.
But I take it you don't look on him with any great deal of favor.
Oh, I did not say that.
How come you got this all-fired objection to getting hitched to him then?
He has never asked me.
But that sounds very odd because you're a real pretty girl. Now, if I was just 30 years younger and an Indian...
Should give you any trouble?
No, sir. We've been having a nice, friendly little chat.
I told you I do not break promises.
Well, now, I'm glad to hear that. Shall we get started?
Fine.
Mr. Boone, I just wanted to say that we was both wrong about that little girl. She's a real sweet little lady. Only thing wrong with her is her pride got hurt.
Well, I wish I could depend on that.
Mr. Boone, now that ain't the proper attitude. I've just been telling you.
She did it again.
Seems to me that some men just don't know how to handle women. Or maybe they ain't got my sort of personal charm. You know, Cole,
What?
I've been thinking.
You been what?
I've been thinking. What a shame it is to force that sweet young thing into a matrimonial relationship that she don't approve of.
Is that all?
Give me time to finish. Now, you heard what the chief offered Boone for delivering that girl. What if she were to just up and disappear? I figure it'd be worth quite a sum to Boonesbury to get her back.
You mean you want to steal her?
Just bother her for a little while.
You want to get us both killed?
I want to get us both rich.
But what if she doesn't want to get stole?
You never was a thinking man, was you, Cole? You heard her say that she don't want this marriage. So, if we were to sort of offer to rescue her from a fate worse than death, so to speak, I'm inclined to think she'd come along real peaceful-like.
Princess? Are you coming down, or do I have to come up there and get you?
You wouldn't dare.
Mingo, let me have your tomahawk.
Oh, you wouldn't dare.
Well, all you've got to do to find out is just keep sitting right there.
Well, I'm not coming down.
Well, that's where you and I have a little difference of opinion. Mingo, move just a little bit to your left. I think that's where she's going to drop. Sorry, Princess. I've got her, Mingo.
I'm delighted to hear that, Daniel. And now, when you have her all tied up, would you mind lifting this tree off me? Only next time you catch, I'll chop.
I thought you said you never broke a promise.
I only promised to behave myself until you got back.
Well, at least that answers my question. There's only one thing to do. That's for me to send you back to the fort and get a horse. Anytime you get tired of riding hanging upside down, you just say the word. Promise you'll behave and I'll turn you loose.
I promise.
You begin to make a little sense.
Thank you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Now you may help me mount the horse like a lady. See? I am being very good.
Yes, ma'am.
But I didn't say for how long.
Daniel! Look out!
You leave your pack, Mingo, and catch the horse. I'll make camp in the clearing there by the river.
What happened?
The same thing that happens to every young girl that tells lies.
I did not lie. You should have asked me how long.
What I should have done was leave the country the first time I laid eyes on you, but it's a little late for that.
Help me up.
I'm not going to touch you until you promise.
I promise.
Promise what?
I promise to be good.
For how long?
Well, until we've had our supper. Then I will think more about it.
Well, at least we know we'll be safe until then. All right.
Those packs are very heavy. May I help you?
Well, that's very considerate of you. This way, Princess.
Well, the horse is tethered for the night.
Well, why don't you get some firewood, and I'll get the water.
I will get the water.
Isn't that an old Indian custom, letting the women do all the work?
Doesn't your wife ever work?
Come to think about it, she probably does more work than I do.
Then that is also a white man's custom. I will get the water.
don't think she'll run away, do you, Daniel? Or maybe swim away?
One thing I've got to say for her, she's kept her word on anything we've asked so far. I think most of the time our trouble is that we're not asking the right questions.
I'll get the wood. Yet.
No, I haven't seen or heard her ever since she left.
It's not that far to the river. You don't suppose something's happened to her, do you, Daniel?
No, I don't think so. But you take a look just in case.
All right.
What are you doing hanging around here?
Well, what does it look like I'm doing?
Cut me loose! Come on, Daniel.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you all right? Let me help you up.
Daniel, I have but one regret.
Yeah, what's that?
I regret that it's considered improper for a man to strike a woman. Say, I wonder if that same rule applies to kicking.
What I want to know is where'd she get the rope?
From my pack.
Oh, you know you look so funny hanging there.
Well, I'm glad you're amused. I thought you promised you were going to be good.
I have been. Very good.
Yeah!
Well, now, I've thought more about it.
Thought more about what?
About how I will behave.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned it. I had forgotten all about it.
Well, then you've come to some decision.
Yes, I've decided.
I'm glad. Now we can get a little sleep.
Mingo, haven't you forgotten one thing?
Forgotten? What?
The right question.
I'm glad you reminded me. Now then, Princess, exactly what was it you decided?
I've decided to escape.
Well, I'm not going to stay awake all night watching her. Tie her to a tree, Mingo.
I hate to do this, but you give me no choice. Come along.
That one ought to do. Night.
Sleep well, Princess.
Mm-hmm.